Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So as you guys know, they've just announced yesterday that they're going to be opening the borders, you know, for interstate travel again. And you guessed it, as car people, the first thing we'll do is head up Genting.
Yes. So we are already at the foothill of Genting Highlands, and we're actually going to check out this car because we've always wanted to do that, but we never got the chance, right? We want to see how this car handles, especially around the corners.
So we've gotten the car about 5 months back, and right after the day we got the car, when it was still in stock form, the next day the lockdown was already implemented, you know. We couldn't go anywhere. So basically for the first 3.5 months we were just driving.
So bright.
So for the first 3.5 months we were just driving around our area, you know. And we couldn't really get a feel of the handling of the car, but now that we finally got a chance, so we'll be able to test it out. So
it's 7:30 a.m. in the morning. We're just passing the first checkpost at Genting. So it starts now.
okay, let's go.
Let's go, let's enjoy this car. The sun is very bright.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful a little bit while I'm driving here. Right. First turn. Well, I'm a bit rusty because I haven't done this for a long time. But, well, still excited. So it's on sport and track mode. I'll give this car, let this car pass, right? Okay.
Not too crowded today.
Right. It's Monday morning, everybody's at work. So we skipped work and he skipped his, yeah. I mean, he's studying from home, so, you know, it's alright. Oh. Suspension is a bit hard though because, you know, explain about the suspension. I'm not very good with suspensions.
So the suspension now, as you know, PCBR is always known for a little bit on the stiff side, and right now the suspension is actually quite soft already, but sometimes when you go over hard bumps you will feel it. And the fronts are 15 and the rears are at 10 because we find that's the perfect balance for daily driving.
So this car is a NA. There is not much power, especially when you pick up, because there's no turbo or supercharger. Well, it's a good experience though, but once it starts moving, well, it's just really, really nice to drive this car.
How's that?
Pretty good. Well, this car's blocking us. Let's slow down for a bit.
Quite a lot of trucks here today.
Yeah. It's good. I'm not really pushing it to its limit because I've not gotten used to this car yet.
Well, all of you followers who have been following 19 Highlands for some time now, you guys know that previously we had the 987 Boxster. It was quite good in terms of the handling because you were driving it most of the time.
Right.
So
He
this
just got his license then, so
yeah, so I couldn't really test out the car back then. But from the passenger seat, I can tell like that car as a mid-engine really handles very well. So later I'll be testing out this car going down Genting, see how it handles compared to the Boxster.
well, the handling is almost as good as the Boxster, but I can still feel that this car likes to throw the back.
They're happy.
Right. Okay, so we are at Genting Jaya now, and then this guy takes over for the rest of the trip up.
Okay, so we've just switched.
Right. The sun is just too bright, getting in my eyes. I didn't really drive like I normally would. I wasn't really sticking within the lines. That's because I just wanted to not push this car, not this time, probably the next round. I just wanted to know what, how well this car handles. So yeah, that was what the goal was for today. Not really to push it. So okay, we just passed the second checkpost in Gentings, and now it's your turn to experience this car.
So I'll be
For the first time.
Yep. So I'll be putting the car in manual mode because I find it more engaging. Of course, a manual will be so much more fun here, but well, the manual mode is just as good. So we'll test it out. There's slightly more cars on the road right now because it's like 7:40 AM.
Well, sometimes people don't understand why we like to come to Genting, and some people will be thinking, why do these guys like to go to Genting so frequently? That's because we actually enjoy the drive up here. Only car enthusiasts will know how this feels, right? How fun or it's thrilling or gives you an adrenaline rush. So yeah, that's why we come up to Genting quite often. There's still a lot of cars in front here, but you just have to follow behind them. I remember when we drove the 987, we enjoyed it. Number one, not only for its drive, but also it was a Boxster, so it's convertible. We enjoyed the nice cool weather in Gentings. But the handling of that car was actually really good, right? We could really push it. The difference between this car and that car is, this is like what he refers to as tail happy, right? The back portion tends to come out a little bit, but once we have changed the back wheels to 9.5 inch, so I noticed that it's much more stable now.
Yeah, because right now we're having a staggered fitment, so that kind of prevents the back from always slipping out.
So if any of you want to buy this car, and if you like to go on winding roads, or you call it tauge, right? Tauge roads, right? And a lot of cornerings, well, changing to a staggered fitment is a good option because it keeps the car, on its what's the word to use?
Well, the back doesn't come out as often lah.
Yeah.
That's the layman's term. And also, some people may not like it because some may say it understeer. But in my opinion, I think it's just about adapting to your driving style. And also, I find that the stagger fitment really gives this car a really different look because the back has a really nice concave to it. So I really appreciate the looks of the car right after we installed the new wheels. So that's just my personal preference.
But for me, the handling is much better for me, right? For a guy who likes to drift like him, you know, enjoys a little bit of drift here and there. I guess it's not the perfect fitment. Alright, go ahead, the road is clear. Oh,
Big bumps.
that's when you have hard suspension. I'm gonna get a backache soon. Surprisingly, there are a lot of cars today. This time early morning. Sun,
Super bright.
sun's glad.
Super bright.
We didn't wind down the windows because I think the audio in the car wouldn't be as clear with the windows down. So many trucks.
A lot.
Good corner.
So in the uphill, you can really feel that this car is lacking the power. You know, right now after we tuned it, it's about 165 wheel horsepower. It's not a lot, but for such a light car, it's decent. You really gotta rev the car out to its high RPMs because that's where the power usually is. But some people, they don't really like to, you know, rev the car all the way all the time. So most of them, they will usually go for a supercharge or turbocharge because it really enhances the acceleration and the overall power of the car. As you can see now, in this straight line, I'm full pedaling it, and that's the response. So you really gotta drive it quite hard with it being NA.
That's one of the reasons that we are thinking of enjoying the car for a moment, right? And probably next year we would go for a supercharger, and that would increase the horsepower by
About 100 horsepower.
100 horsepower more, bringing it to about close to 270 horsepower,
Yep, correct.
which will be very good for a car that is light like this.
Quite a lot of renovations here. We haven't been here for, I haven't been here for about 8 months, 7 to 8 months. So seeing the roads, I'm also quite rusty as well, you know, some of the corners. Need to familiarize myself again.
But actually I'm still sleepy.
Oh, they built a wall
So
here.
that's one reason that I'm not driving like my usual self. Okay, hang on, there's some roadblock here.
uphill, I can say that the car really does handle very well. It's really planted, and the only thing that most people might find is that just the uphill acceleration. But overall, it's a very good drive, and I really enjoyed it.
Handling is good, definitely. The handling is good. I think I was only doing about 70%, and I believe that we can still push it another 20%. I wouldn't go 100%, but I'll push it another 20%. But again, you know, once you do something often, then you know, you get used to it, right? So this is after a long time. So you know, like what he said, we are a bit rusty. We haven't driven like this, but we'll be doing this more often, definitely more often. So guys, we're up here now. Just reach the top, and we'll catch you guys in a moment.
Okay guys, as you can see, the sun is really bad today. So we've just reached up here and we're gonna be grabbing some coffee, have something to eat, and then we'll be driving back down afterwards. So guys, here's what happened. So we actually went back all the way down and we decided to come back up. And this time, the only thing different was that I was driving
And he pushed the car,
so I pushed it about 80 to 90% to the limit.
right? It was scary for me because I'm not used to it as a passenger, but I let him do what he does best, and it was really, really good. The car was more than what I expected. As a passenger, I could feel it. I could feel how the car handled the corners. It was really glued to the ground.
Yeah, as a driver driving that, you know, I may not realize how fast I'm actually going through the corners, but I was going cautiously and all, but I can really feel like it was just gliding through the corners with no effort.
Because he knows the car better than I know the car. So I've driven a Porsche before, and I know Porsche handled well. And I've come up to Genting many times, right? And with this car, I've not done it yet. So I did not want to really push the car. I was only going like 70%, like what I mentioned earlier, right? So this time he drove, and I sensed it, you know, as a passenger. It was very good. And I would say this to anyone who wants to buy a 86. This car is damn good. Go and get one. Alright guys, so I think we're gonna have a cup of coffee now and relax. And Nick,
So that's all for today guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.
and see you in the next video.
Alright, ciao.
Bye.